It's the time of the year when it's snowy outside, it's pretty dark, and you just want to stay inside.
And it's also that time of year when everyone's making their all-time board game tops.
Here's our top 10 games of all time. 10 for me, 10 for Yanis right here.
Did you mention that it's all-time favorite games of all time?
But it's our top, so it's not gonna be best all time, it's best all time for us, right?
No, not right. These are just like period best games of all time.
Just note, if ever somebody says that he has the top 10 games of all time, never trust them.
It's in their opinion, but if you want the definitive list, this is it. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
So let's jump right into our 10th pick, and Yanis, you go first, alright?
I go first?
You go first.
Can you guess? No, you cannot guess. But it's Keyforge. It's
Ah.
Keyforge. It's Keyforge. My top 10 game of all time is Keyforge. If we'd make like our top 10 favorite genres of games, I think this would be my number one. What is that? It's a collectible card game, but it is not really, you don't collect cards, you collect decks, because you buy already pre-constructed ready deck and you're ready to play. The most I enjoy this is in a competitive play, like going to tournaments, local tournaments, and playing with other competitive players. This just saves time because the deck is already done. I don't have to construct anything, I don't have to buy boosters, I just have to spend even more money than what I would spend on boosters buying better decks, hopefully, which mostly are not better. Anyways, Keyforge is a really nice competitive card game for 2 players, and I just really love it.
I was actually expecting to see it higher in the list. So probably all the war games are taking up higher places, right?
All the war games? Well, how many do you think I'm gonna have? How many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 I see in your background, so around 9, I guess.
I can neither confirm nor deny this information.
All right, let's jump into my 10th one, and you're gonna be shocked. You ready?
I am? Okay, I'm ready to be shocked.
Ark Nova.
What? You just got it!
I recently got it, yes. What it's all about, you're building a zoo and also conserving the environment while doing that. So very topical, good theme on this game. But it's basically a Euro game where you get resources, you get animals, put animals into your zoo, and then get points for it. That's just the basic premise, but it's a very good Euro game. It has very unique mechanisms, very interesting mechanisms. Check it out if you're into heavier Euro games.
Okay, my number 9 is a game that I don't have, but it's Eclipse Second Dawn. It's also a Euro game, but it's a space Euro game with dice rolls and ship combat. I know it doesn't sound like a Euro game, but it actually is a Euro game with space and dice and ship combat.
It's in your top because there's space, so...
Yes, pretty much so, yeah, pretty much so. It's not the last game with space theme you might see on this list. You have played Twilight Imperium, right?
Yes.
I also have played Twilight Imperium, and I like Twilight Imperium a lot, but it takes a whole day. And this game, even though remotely similar, I wouldn't say this is like, you know, if you like Twilight Imperium, get Eclipse and then you'll be done. No. It scratches a different itch, but it gives me that same epic-ish feel of a space game, but in a reasonable amount of time. And then there's different races, and then you can create your own technology tree, because technologies come up randomly each game, so you don't know if you're gonna have those plasma rockets this time or not. It's just really fun. Yeah, if you like Euro games, I think you like it, and if you like non-Euro games, I think you like it.
And in any way, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, pretty much so. Well, these are all-time, right, games.
Just a sec, I actually have mine, unlike some other people.
Is that my Eclipse? Oh, no, it's not. Ooh.
It's Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings sucker, so this one obviously had to be here. It's a card collecting game, LCG. Different than your Keyforge.
Well, yeah, not even close.
So it's a cooperative game where you choose your different heroes from Lord of the Rings universe and fight baddies, go through scenarios, finish missions. Plus it's also a deck building, but not a deck building as you play, but you build your decks with your cards before the game. So even before playing, you still can have your unique personal deck to fight the baddies. To be honest, all the hype now has gone to the Arkham Horror LCG, right?
Yep.
Which, if you're not interested in Lord of the Rings theme, then maybe that one will interest you, because it's newer, better version, I guess. But I'm still a sucker for this theme, and I love this game. So it's my number 9.
Wow. I thought it'd be higher, to be honest. My number 8 is this game.
Ooh, nice.
It's Seventh Continent. It's a story-driven card game, and I'm gonna emphasize the story-driven game. But if you're looking for like a strategy game with mechanisms and things like that, this is probably not gonna be for you. If you're looking for a really interesting story and discovery, then this might be for you. But why I'm saying might, there is one major issue with this game that I ignore and just pretend it doesn't happen, is if you die, you have to restart the whole thing.
Yeah, nobody does
But
that. I think nobody
please,
does that.
why would you? I mean, mostly my problem with that is because it's not fun to go through everything that you've already seen. Other than that, the cards, how you explore and can notice different things and get other cards, and it's just different puzzles and the survival, and I mean, it's just really nice story game.
I'm going to go with the big guns at the start, which is Terraforming Mars. It's my 8th pick. I've played this game for years now. I really love it. In this game, you are people sent to Mars to terraform it. You try to use those resources that you have to get new resources, build systems, and terraform Mars. One of the most popular Euro games, I think, in the world right now, the heavy type. And always at the end of the game, you will feel the satisfaction of that you have built something huge, something that works, something that's unique each time. And that's why I really, really enjoy this game. Cards, the systems, everything here is a must if you love Euro games.
I wonder if Ark Nova is gonna overtake it next year.
The more you play a certain Euro game, it gets better.
If you like it from the start, yeah.
With story games, I find that, the first time always will be the best, and then it probably will go down, right? With Euro games, it's the other way around. First time might be good, and next time will be better because you know the systems, you already start thinking about strategy. So I think Ark Nova has the possibility to go higher for sure. So 7th pick, let's go.
My number 7 is...
Ooh, that's a heavy one.
It's either me or the game.
All right.
It's Rune Wars.
We'll take the game.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. When they set out to design Rune Wars, they set it out to design as a fantasy alternative to Twilight Imperium. And I'd say they did a pretty good job. It is an epic game with heroes questing, you having your own nation. You have elves, undead, humans, and then you fight over these runes, and who has the most runes at the end of the game, or the first one to collect certain amount, wins the game. And then there's event cards, and then there's combat and special abilities. It is epic, it is big, it is huge, and I think it is my wife's favorite game. So that does play a lot.
That means a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Are you ready to be shocked again?
Wow, 2 shocks in one top 10 of all time?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
Eldritch Horror is my 7th pick.
Okay, wait. Who are you? And what did you do with Giannis?
All right.
No, really.
No,
7th?
Yeah, it's 7th.
What? No, let me explain. Because people
Right.
were like, why is he shocked? I'll tell you why. When I started this channel, a bit more than a year ago, you said, and I quote, Eldritch Horror is my all-time favorite game. End
Yes.
quote.
Things change, life happens. Eldritch Horror is all about you as an investigator, you as a group of investigators fighting against Cthulhu and all other monsters. So huge adventure, getting items, traveling through the world and just defeating villains. And it's amazing because it has this open world feeling. This is the reason why I fell in love with board games in general. So it is an amazing game and it still holds up. But it takes a lot of time, and there is also a lot of downtime, which I don't enjoy at this point. But still, 7th, amazing game. You should try if you haven't. If this got me into the hobby, and look where I'm right now, so it will get you as well.
I would like to take this time to apologize on behalf of Board Game Hangover for not letting you play Eldritch Horror as much as you'd like.
You should.
I'm sorry. Is that the last shock, this top, all-time top, or we might have some
No,
more?
you will have some more.
Oh, jeez.
So 6th place, what is in your 6th place?
What is in my 6th place is a game I do own, but I don't have it with me right here, right now, and it is Twilight Struggle. It is a 2-player, yet to be decided if it's a war game or an area control game, but it's a 2-player card game where you're basically playing out the whole Cold War. One player takes the side of United States of America and the other takes the side of the USSR. And you're just fighting over countries and playing event cards, and those events are historical. And I mentioned recently in our video of Q&A that I really love historical games that have a historical flavor to it and some educational maybe aspect. I'd say one of my favorite GMT games that I ever played, and GMT is my favorite game company. I just like that game so much. This tug of war that happens there, where you're just like trying to control this region and that region, and you know this region might be scored soon, but you don't know how soon, so maybe you should concentrate on this region. It's an amazing experience for 2 players.
So King's Dilemma is my number 6th pick. It's a story-driven game, legacy game. So you as a player take place in the King's Console and decide on different decisions about the whole region. You have a very big interest in everything that happens, selfish interest. So you will vote for maybe the region's needs, or maybe something that you need yourself. And it's a bit of a role play, it's a story game, and it's freaking amazing. And to be honest, no other game from this whole list has given my gaming group as many emotions as this one has. It's amazing. You can just play it once, so it's a once in a lifetime experience, I guess.
Yeah, I did love it as well. I do feel that the game is going to be as good as the company you play it with. You actually have to role play your house, and then the game is at its best.
All right, so 5th pick.
Now we're getting into the top half of top 10, and my number 5 is going to be a Euro game. It is Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is an old Euro game, but somehow I find it such a clean and nice design that I still enjoy it to this day. It might be one of my wife's favorite games. Does that influence my top 10? A little bit, but not all. Because my number 1, my wife said, haha, it's your favorite game and I'm never ever gonna play it with you. Just a little bit of something to look forward to. Puerto Rico, you're building up your colony and growing goods, and then you're manufacturing those goods into products that you ship for points, and then you score points for building buildings. And the basic mechanism is that you pick a role and then you do that role action and you get the bonus of that action, but everybody gets to do their role, so there's quite a bit of actual interaction. I still really like it, and I think Puerto Rico is an amazing Euro game.
My pick is another surprise. Are you ready? I think you're going to be very surprised.
I am ready. Let's go.
I actually don't have that game, but you have.
I do?
And it's Sleeping Gods.
What?
I would give all the reasons that you gave for 7th Continent, and I think it's a better 7th Continent version. It's a huge exploration game where you play as a ship's crew who got lost in the sea and now are exploring these islands where supposedly gods are sleeping, and they say that if you wake them up, you can get away from there. You can do whatever you like, kind of thing. It's not too much management. The mechanisms complement the whole game. It's easy to get into. And for such a story game, there's a lot of replayability. Especially when you finish your first campaign, you feel like, I'm ready to go back in. And it provides a lot of cards and things that next time you play, you will start out completely different. And I love it. I think it's built very, very nicely. And as this story exploration game, it's my favorite.
It's a little bit of a surprise. I knew you liked it. I wasn't sure it would make your top 10, but it did, and it made it quite high. I'm still in the process of playing it, and when we do a review of it, I'll remember this comment and we can compare 7th Continent and Sleeping Gods. Yeah. I'm also enjoying it so far. I see where this is coming from.
4th pick.
Remember when I said that you might not see a lot of Euro games or any anymore? Well, you might
here's
see
another
one more. Yeah, here's
right.
Another one. It's Dune Imperium. Deck building Euro game, deck building worker placement Euro game, where you place workers, and those workers are being placed by playing cards. So you play a card and it tells you where you can place your worker, and then you get resources, and then you spend those resources on getting new cards, more troops to fight out combat. There's quite a bit of interaction. It's so very stressful and tight. Every game I play, at the end, anybody can almost win, and I feel that it's just such a good design. I mean, deck building is one of my favorite mechanisms. Dune Imperium, amazing experience.
So my 4th pick is Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition. Basically, Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition is like a mini version of Terraforming Mars, but not really. It takes the base mechanism and adds a lot of different things, so makes up a different game really, but still it's about using your resources to build bigger and bigger engines. There's a lot more interaction, guessing what the other player is going to do. And this interaction and just looking in each other's eyes and trying to figure out what you're going to do is fun and gives this game an aspect that we didn't have before. I want to play Ares Expedition a lot more right now than the big one. So let's move on to number 3.
The bronze medal goes to another big box that doesn't fit in the screen. Clank Legacy. Again, I just mentioned deck building, right? So this is a deck building game through and through, but with a little bit of push your luck, where you basic premise of Clank is that you need to go into underground, grab some treasure before the dragon kills you. So that basic premise is still here throughout the game, but the amount of story and different things you put on the board, because if this is a legacy game, means you put stickers, you rip up cards, and there's so much happening here that I feel like, how did they play test it? Third of it, you don't even see it when you finish the game because you're like, you took different paths. I can't explain it. You have to experience this. If you like deck building, then I think you definitely like Clank Legacy, like a lot. If I could give a game 11 out of 10, Clank Legacy would be it.
Then I'm wondering what's in the first and second place if 11 is this one.
Yeah, I love it. It is amazing. It should, right? If it's top 3 of all time. I mean,
then it should
what
be
would
amazing.
I say? It's okay. It's my all-time top 3, but it's okay.
All right, so my top 3. This one will not be a surprise because you already talked about it. And it's Tuniperium.
Wow, very close.
Very close. The intrigues and just the same things that you mentioned. It still has an awesome 2-player version. So, Dune, amazing game.
Yeah, definitely. Really good. Okay, so final 2, right?
Yeah.
Well, my number 2 has been behind me all along. And it is Nemesis. I mean, not the Lockdown, I haven't played Lockdown yet, but the ordinary Nemesis, but they're close. My favorite movie genre probably would be space horror. What is... Oh, there it is! That's mine!
But I'm taking it out because it's my second as well.
What? Really?
But it is my second word, yeah.
Wow, I didn't think we'd ever match up. Space horror, love the movie genre, aliens, and this just perfectly simulates that. The untrustingness of each other, personal goals, and constantly being hunted by someone. Watch our review. I mean, what am I even saying?
And the interesting part for me is that space is not my thing. Aliens is not my thing. I'm not that into as you are.
Wait.
I love this game.
Let's see your top. Let's see your top 10. Dune, space. Terraforming Mars, space. Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition, space. Did I miss any?
But I just think that talks a lot about this game and how good it is. The thematic feeling that you will get playing it. Whenever you go to a corner and make your noise rolls and maybe aliens will come, it's such a suspense all the time.
And the best thing about it, it doesn't have like a story per se, but with all the events and happenings in the game, you feel the narrative.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing. Amazing game. Okay, so...
The big one.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
For our all-time favorite board game. It's Here I Stand.
Oh, all right.
This ambiguous, we talked about ambiguous games in our Q&A. This is ambiguous. It's a 6-player only political war game. It happens during the period when Protestants were, created. Players take roles of these big countries of England, France, Habsburgs, Ottomans. It's a card-driven game, just like Twilight Struggle, where you play a card and then you can either use its points for actions or its event. But what adds to it, there's a diplomatic part. Beginning of each round, you can say, okay, I'd like to talk to England, and then you'd go outside the room and you have discussions, and then you'd come back, and then you would give one card to England because you have to announce that publicly. I'm giving one card to England, and we're like, why? Why is he giving a card? What is happening? And then England says, okay, and now I'd like to talk to France. And you're like, wait, why is he talking to France? We just already talked about France. Why is he talking to France? And this unknowing, like, what's going to happen?
Cool.
What's his agenda? Yeah. And then again, except the cards, everything's on the board. So you see what's happening, where he's going to move his forces and what's going to happen. It's just an amazing experience. Plus, on top of that it's a historical war game. It's just... I love it. Do you want me to guess your number one? Because I'm 100% sure I know what it is.
So it's Spirit Island. Yeah. You guessed
Good
it,
choice.
right?
Yeah, I knew that.
I was actually very surprised myself, so I compared all my games, which one I would want to play right now. And Spirit Island has climbed to the top. You are the spirit of an island and you try to protect it from invaders who are polluting the land and just destroying everything they see. You use your powers, try to make your presence bigger and bigger, very strategically try to get them away. The decisions are so tough, but when you get used to it, it's amazing. My favorite solo game for sure. The more I play it, the more I want to play it. Because there's so many spirits, there's so many scenarios, there's so many just things that change from game to game. For me, the top one place for sure. So yeah, those were our top 10 games of all time. To be honest, right now, probably next year it will be different. Maybe tomorrow it will be different, but right now, Spirit Island, and here we stand. Here I stand, right?
Here I stand, yeah.
Those were our top picks, and let us know in the comment section what will be your picks for this time of the year, and what are your top 10 games of all time. So which one of these we will be playing today?
Wow, can we play all? Well, we can't play Here I Stand, we need 4 more people for that. But, oh yes, Ark Nova, yes. Let's start with that one, because I haven't played it yet. And I'm always for the new ones, you know.